Madam Clerk, the time is now 7 p.m.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to call this regular Township Council meeting to order at 7 p.m. Roll call. Councilwoman Perone is present. Councilman Anderson,
Present.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Present.
Mayor Whitfield. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Imam Muhammad and Engin Azir up to lead us in tonight's prayer.
Good evening.
Unique. Hello, everyone. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين.
Imam Muhammad from Masjid Hamidia recited the opening prayer for everything that we do. And so to open the council meeting, he recited Surah Fatiha, and he was seeking refuge with God from the Satan. And then he began with, in the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, all praise is due to God, Lord of all the worlds, most gracious, most merciful, master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we worship, and your aid do we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those upon whom is your grace, not those upon whom is your curse, your wrath, nor those who go astray. And on behalf of our president of Masjid Hamidia, our imam, and our members, we want to invite all the council people, including the clerk and the township manager, to an iftar. Iftar is where we break our fast as we are entering the month of Ramadan on Saturday, February the 28th. And please, you can contact us and let us know that you're coming so we can prepare something really special for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Thank you. Please rise for the flag salute.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Compliance statement. Notice was provided in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 to the Burlington County Times, Trenton Times, and Philadelphia Inquirer, stating the date, time, place, and the agenda to the extent it was known. Additionally, notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, well, good evening, everyone, first. I hope everyone is doing well and thawing out after that deep freeze that we had. Um, But at this time, to begin our meeting, we don't have any presentations or proclamations. So we will go straight to our township manager, Mr. Harris, for his municipal update.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council and the public. Just a few briefings of activities that have been happening since our last meeting and updates. This week's the inspections, the Uniform Commercial Code, and the zoning team continue to manage a mix of compliance enforcement and operational workloads related to winter weather impacts. At one of our locations on Charleston, number 399, there was a smoke shop that was designated to go there. The operation has been paused following a zoning determination, although a certificate of occupancy was issued on December 17th in 2025. The current convenience store does not comply with ordinance number 2025-11 adopted on June 17th, which regulates proximity requirements for convenience stores. The staff is holding the operations in abeyance pending a meeting with the zoning attorney to confirm the appropriate legal posture and any notice requirements and the next enforcement steps. Separately, the winter compliance activity remains high. A total of 234 violations and work orders have been issued for failure to remove snow and ice from sidewalks. 146 of these have been completed as of February 9th by the township. Due to the sustained volume and the need to protect pedestrian safety, a resolution awarding a contract to Mark's Lawn Service to support the abatement and completion of outstanding violations and liens will be placed on those properties to reclaim the expenses borne by the municipality. DPW has provided several key updates. They received confirmation from the inspections department that Bryan Electric has paid the mandatory state of New Jersey permit filing fees for the Mill Creek electric vehicle charging stations. DPW will be touching base with the vendor this week to secure a more definitive construction start time frame and sequencing so the township can properly coordinate field activities and minimize disruptions. Facility and capital activity at the JFK Center is moving forward. The township did receive notice from Ascend Construction that a dumpster was dropped off at the JFK Center on February 10th to support the removal of debris and appliances identified for disposal, particularly related to the bathroom remodeling over by the gym portion of the center. In addition, the construction of the new Human Resources Office at the JFK Center has been completed. There was one remaining item regarding electrical installation, which is currently underway. DPW is also preparing for an important staffing transition as long-term supervisor Donald Thompson will be retiring at the end of the month after 22 years of service. Initially, he was going to retire in June, but he decided to cut out early. The department is entering a transition period and will reassign supervisory tasks and responsibilities to ensure continuity of operations and better align oversight with personnel changes in the supervisory ranks. At the same time, DPW is facing a pressing operational risk related to winter materials. No salt deliveries have been received from the original order placed back on January 20th. Staff will continue escalating with suppliers for a confirmed delivery date and will evaluate contingency sourcing options as needed to maintain readiness during any additional snow events. And we may possibly have a smaller snow event this weekend coming up. Recreation programming continues to show positive momentum. At the same time, registration numbers for upcoming programs are increasing, which indicates both healthy demand and improving participation levels at the department as the department builds out its seasonal schedule. Ms. Ballard, our resident artist, has launched Black History Month programming in the Art Gallery at JFK, adding cultural engagement opportunities for residents celebrating Black history. And if you have an opportunity, meander through the JFK Center and look at what she has on display. Our fire and EMS department reported notable staffing changes and an operational incident. One full-time EMT submitted a resignation from full-time position effective Thursday, February 26th. They will be transitioning to a per diem role. A second full-time EMT also submitted a resignation to move to per diem status after completing a paramedic course. These shifts will require some scheduling adjustments to maintain coverage and response capacity. Additionally, one township ambulance was involved in a minor motor vehicle accident in West Hampton during the extended weekend while transporting a patient to the hospital in Mount Holly. The incident is being processed through normal reporting and review channels, and the vehicle's condition and readiness will be confirmed as part of standard follow-up. Our finance and procurement activities remain on track and compliant. The annual debt statement, which is statutorily due by January 31st of each year, has been prepared, and it reflects that the township remains well within allowable debt limits. Under New Jersey statutes annotated 48:2-6, the net debt valuation percentage allowable for a municipality is 3.5%. Willingboro reported a net valuation at 1.236%, confirming the municipality is comfortably below the statutory cap. And to reinforce internal controls and consistent purchasing practices, purchasing training is scheduled for tomorrow, February 18th, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. at the Firehouse Conference Room for individuals who have not participated previously or may need a refresher. And finally, the police department reported progress on fleet readiness. The bid package for upfitting 3 police vehicles has been completed and was slated to be advertised by Friday, February 13th, with bids scheduled to be open on March 3rd, 2026. This procurement will support operational readiness and help ensure vehicles can be placed into service according to department needs and equipment standards. And our solid waste bid is also due back in the township on March the 4th. So we are going to see where those numbers bring us as we prepare our 2026 budget. And last but not least, I would like to announce the promotion of Ms. Ivy Carmichael to the role of Deputy Township Clerk, effective as of yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Deputy Township Manager, effective as of yesterday. And Deputy Township Manager. Ms. Carmichael has been an integral part of my office and operations since I came into Willingboro, and I feel she is more than prepared for this role, and we are looking for great things from her. Ms. Carmichael, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, members of the council, and for members of the community watching. I've just celebrated my 4 years in Willingboro, so not new to many, but probably new to some, usually in the background, but I'll be more in the foreground helping. I'm really excited. Those of you who have worked closely with me know that I do appreciate my job. I work really hard to get the job done, to see Willingboro succeed, so I'm excited to do it from one seat to the next, and we will see what I'm excited about 2026. So thank you. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Ms. Carmichael.
And last but not least, we will call on Ms. Jackson at this time to give us an update on some of the activities occurring in Willingboro over the next couple of weeks.
Oh, it's all good. It's just water, and it did not spill. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Mayor, Deputy Mayor, members of council, and all assembled. It's so wonderful to see everyone this evening. So as we continue this year's Black History Month celebration, please be advised of the following. On Saturday, February 21st, we will host an artist talk entitled Still Here. Join us at noon, this will be held in the front entrance of the Kennedy Center to hear artists share their stories of resilience and courageous storytelling. And then on Thursday, February 26th, we will host our second annual Black History Month celebration. Confirmed performers include Faith in Action, vocalist Courtney Wright, the Thomas Brothers, and saxophonist Robert Wise. We are excited about this year's celebration as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. Dinner will be served prior to the program. which will begin at 7 p.m. in the Kennedy Center. Dinner will be served from 6:30 to 7. This is a free event, but reservations are required so we can get our numbers to the caterer. We will close out the celebrations on Friday, February 27th, with an open mic dedicated to Black History Month. The event will be held, we begin at 7 p.m. and be held in the Kennedy Center Banquet Hall. We are also preparing for our March events due to the early arrival of Easter and unpredictable outdoor weather. We will be hosting springtime lunch with the Easter Bunny inside at the Kennedy Center on Sunday, March 22nd. Parents and guardians of children ages 12 and under are invited to join us for an afternoon of Easter crafts and games, lunch with the bunny, photo ops, and more. And the cost of this event is $20 per family. Doesn't matter what your family size looks like. The cost is $20 for the entire family, and registration is now open. This year's Phenomenal Women Awards celebration will be held on March 29th, also at the Kennedy Center, and we are excited to share that we have identified 6 wonderful women as this year's honorees, and we will be announcing that very soon. In the meanwhile, we ask that you save the date of Sunday, March 29th at 3 p.m. and plan to join us for a wonderful afternoon and celebration of phenomenal women. I feel like I got another, yes, I do have another page. We have several classes, programs, and sports activities that are available and open to the entire community. Business 2.0, a financial literacy workshop for scaling small businesses, will be held on this Saturday, February 21st. Registration is now open. We do want to remind our residents and community members that the Wellness Center is available to them. And we encourage you to take a moment to visit www.willingboroughrec.com for more information about the programs, activities, and opportunities offered by our Recreation and Parks Department. On that note, in case you missed it, an executive summary was shared early last week, sharing highlights of the Community Recreation Summit and summaries of the survey that was shared. So please take a moment to read and find out about the survey, the results of the survey, and plans that are underway to better serve the Willingboro community. And as you will see on your agenda, an ordinance will be introduced tonight regarding recreation and facility usage fees. Information regarding a public hearing and more information will be forthcoming, and all are invited to provide comment and public hearing during the designated opportunity. So stay tuned for more information. And as always, all this information is available on our website, Willingboro Weekly, and our social media pages, as well as our app. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions,
right.
Ms. Jackson?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Mr. Hurst?
Jackson, for your reports. The ordinances and resolutions being presented to you for your consideration this evening is ordinance number 2026-04. This is an ordinance of the Township of Willingboro amending Chapter 150, Section 8, entitled Recreation Department Fees, and establishing Chapter 150, Section 20, entitled Facilities Usage Fees of the Code of the Township of Willingboro. This ordinance does that. It sets new rates and fees for some of our recreation programs and establishes new rates and fees for the rental and usage of our municipal properties and facilities. Ordinance number 2026-5 is an ordinance amending Chapter 199 Housing Standards, adding an article entitled Uniform Fire Safety Inspections, designating the Township of Willingboro as the local enforcing agency for uniform fire safety inspections. This is in relation to a legislation that amended state law back in 2025, and it is recommended for the council to approve this ordinance authorizing the township to conduct inspections for smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, fire extinguishers, and secondary power sources during tenant changes in residential resales and rental properties. Ordinance number 2026-06 and 07 are ordinances that are going to be discussed in relation to affordable housing development fees. And at the time, Ms. Tina Caponi can give you a little deeper explanation on what those ordinances are and why they are essential for Willingboro. Ordinance number 2026-01, which is up for public hearing and possible final adoption, is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 342 of the Code of the Township of Willingboro entitled Taxi Cabs. And ordinance 2026-02 is an ordinance amending Chapter 150-9 of the Township entitled Fees for Licenses and Permits, and ordinance number 2026-03, amending supplemental Chapter 12 of the Willingboro Township Code entitled Boards, Committees, Commissions. And those were all put forth by the township clerk. So if she wants to take a moment to explain those to the council.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. So these ordinances were presented to you back in the end of January. Two of them are in regards to our taxi cab and limo ordinance, just to make sure we are requiring all of the documentation needed that we have on file from the state, that we are getting it from the businesses in town. And then ordinance 2026-03 will allow the Environmental Commission to have a decision on who they would like to put as their representative onto the planning board.
Thank you. The resolution is being presented to you this evening is Resolution 2026-43, which is a resolution authorizing the approval of vouchers for payment and ratification. Resolution number 2026-44 is a resolution authorizing refunds for overpayment of taxes. Resolution number 2026-45 is a resolution of Willingboro authorizing the estimated contract value amounts for professional services, professional service agreements as determined. This, again, establishes the estimated contracts for our professionals that you appointed back in January at the reorganization meeting based on their bid responses. Resolution number 2026-46 is a resolution authorizing a change order contract amendment, increasing the contract for custodial services with Lee's Pristine Cleaning. It is recommended that you pass this resolution for a change order and contract amendment with Lee's Pristine based on costs related to janitorial supplies and labor that was not anticipated at the time we renewed this contract back in 2025. Resolution number 2026-47 is a resolution awarding a fair and open contract for professional engineering services related to the proposed retrofit and renovation work for the RTU, which is the rooftop unit supports at the JFK Center. As you know, we began and worked almost through the ESIP program for a few years. It was discovered that the rooftop air conditioning units were inappropriately placed actually onto the roofs instead of a support. So this is awarding a contract to design and retrofit the renovation work for the supports at the JFK Center. And just as a sidebar, most of this work is going to be absorbed by PSE&G, who was the direct installer of this project. Resolution number 2026-48 is a resolution awarding a fair and open contract for professional engineering services related to the speed humps on Tyler Drive. There was an expression to install speed humps on Tyler Drive, and this is contract going to R&V Associates to do the engineering design work for that. Resolution number 2026-49 is a resolution closing out the 2023 concrete repair project, which was completed on December 29th in 2025. The township engineer was Panoni for this project. They have performed closeout inspections. They have found no issues and determined the improvements to be acceptable. And the township engineer has confirmed receipt of a 2-year maintenance bond submitted in accordance with the project contract. Resolution number 2026-50 is a resolution to amend Resolution 2026-30 to change the annual contract amount for the fleet maintenance software to maintain the township's fleet of vehicles. This contract was approved by the council at our last meeting, but it was noted that the contract pricing wasn't appropriately documented in the resolution. So this is reflecting the accurate lower first-year costs and the subsequent 1-year increases to bring the total 5-year contract to $50,240.35. Resolution number 2026-51 is a resolution for interlocal service agreement between the Burlington County Soil Conservation District and Willingboro Township, authorizing them to do stormwater management facility inspections and other related services. What they do for us is they go and inspect our storm basins, and we have a contract with them previously, but this year we're going to do an additional, I think it's 15 at $100 a piece to bring the total contract value for this project at it's about $7,500. It's not an extensive project, but it really enables us to stay compliant with our stormwater obligations. Resolution number 2026-52 is a resolution authorizing Willingboro Township to enter into a contract for the township's server room upgrade. We do have a need to upgrade the township's server room, which is in the basement of this building. Myself and our IT contractor have reviewed the cooperative contract pricing proposal submitted by SHI and recommend the award of this contract to SHI. This will be doing upgrades to access points, ID machines, iPads, and things like that. Resolution number 2026-53 is a resolution accepting a grant and execution of a grant agreement with the New Jersey Historic Futura Grant. This was a grant that was given to the township in the amount of $39,465 by the City Federal Savings and Loan Space Bank Futura Project. This was specifically granted to support the preparation and completion of a national registry of historic places and to advance subsequent preservation planning work, including a preservation plan and a feasibility study for the Futura House. Resolution number 2026-54 is a resolution acknowledging and accepting the master plan that was approved by the planning board at their last meeting. Resolution number 2026-55 would take us into executive session. And are you going to do 56 afterwards?
Yes, if there's a decision in executive session, we'll do 56 after.
So those are all the resolutions and ordinances being presented for you for consideration at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. I do have one correction. Ordinance 2026-06 and 07 are not the ones that Ms. Profoni is here. Okay. I'm like, those are not the ones that she's here to discuss. We'll discuss those other ones in executive session. These are regarding affordable housing. And we do have a memo in your packets on the dais regarding some changes to the state statute that will require us to repeal and replace our existing ordinances regarding some issues on affordable housing. And it talks about how money is designated to our affordable housing trust fund, and that process, and then also um, dictates some things about rehabilitation programs and other programs, um, and updates them with some new regulations that were put out from the state. So if you'd like, we can hold those two and discuss them in executive session if you feel like you need to discuss those a bit more. Okay, with that said, we will go to public comment. This public comment is for agenda items only. You'll have 2 minutes. There are public comment cards in the back to fill out so that if need be, we can get in contact with you after the meeting. This public comment is for agenda items only. Public comment is now open. All right, seeing none, public comment is now closed. Before we start with the ordinances, Madam Clerk, I do want to ask, are there any resolutions that council would like to pull from a consent agenda? All right. I do just want a call out for 2026-54. Madam Clerk, you can start with the ordinances.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Ordinances for introduction today. We have ordinance 2026-04. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-4 entitled Ordinance of the Township of Willingboro, amending Chapter 150, Section 8 entitled Recreation Department Fees and establishing Chapter 150, Section 20 entitled Facility Usage Fees of the Code of the Township of Willingboro?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2026-05 is entitled Ordinance Amending Chapter 199 Housing Standards, adding an article entitled Uniform Fire Safety Inspections, designating the Township of Willingboro as the local enforcement agency for uniform fire safety inspections related to the certification on smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, fire extinguishers, and secondary power sources pursuant to Public Law 2025 C19. Can I get a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilwoman McIntosh, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you.
Before you continue, Madam Clerk, is everyone okay with moving forward with these two ordinances for the affordable housing?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right. Madam Clerk?
Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-6 entitled An Ordinance of the Township of Willingboro repealing and replacing Chapter 79, Article 1, Affordable Housing Development Fees?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. And finally, for ordinances for introduction, I have ordinance 2026-7. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-7 entitled An Ordinance of the Township of Willingboro, repealing and replacing Chapter 79, Article 2, Affordable Housing Obligations?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilman Anderson. Discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinances for public hearing and final adoption. I have ordinance 2026-1. I'd like to open the public hearing on ordinance 2026-1 titled Ordinance Amending and Supplementing Chapter 342 of the Code of the Township of Willingboro entitled Taxi Cabs to update and expand regulations pertaining to limousines and rename Chapter 342 of the Code to Taxi Cabs and Limousines. Anyone wishing to come forward to comment on this ordinance only, please do so. Seeing none, I'd like to close public comment on this ordinance. Can I get a motion to finally adopt ordinance 2026-1?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on, I'd like to open public comment on ordinance 2026-2 entitled an ordinance amending chapter 150-9 of the Township Code entitled Fees and Licenses and Permits to permit collection of unpaid mercantile licenses and add limousine fees. Anyone wishing to come forward to comment on this ordinance only, please do so. Seeing none, I'd like to close public comment on this ordinance. Can I get a motion to finally adopt this ordinance 2026-2?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. And finally, for public hearing, we have ordinance 2026-3 entitled Ordinance Amending and Supplementing Chapter 12 of the Willingboro Township Code entitled Boards, Committees, Commissions, and Authorities to establish a procedure for the selection of an environmental commission member to serve on the Township Planning Board. I'd like to open the public hearing on this. Anyone wishing to come forward on this ordinance only, please do so. Seeing none, I'd like to close public comment. Can I get a motion to finally adopt ordinance 2026-3?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That is all the ordinances for discussion this evening.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll move on to the resolutions. I'd like to propose a consent agenda for resolutions 2026-43 through 2026-53.
Second.
Oh, I need a motion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just
I'm-
proposed it.
I'm sorry. Motion.
Second.
All right, moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Roll call?
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the same?
So, second.
Moved by Councilwoman McIntosh, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to resolutions for separate discussion, I'd like to open, or I'd like to get a motion to open a discussion for resolution acknowledging and accepting the master plan resolution 2026-54.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Discussion. So I just wanted to discuss this resolution. In your package, you do have a full copy of the 2025 Willingboro Comprehensive Master Plan. This was a tremendous undertaking of the planning board of our town. We have been working for 5 years essentially to get this master plan completed. All of the members dedicated time, energy, and their expertise and knowledge to a tremendous amount of reviews of each element. We did a number of community engagement events to ensure that this master plan reflects our community today and not a community that we're hoping to attract. We wanted to make sure that we're catering to our residents and making sure that this master plan meets their needs. I want to give a special shout out to Ms. Sharon Anderson, who was part of the sub planning committee. She has since passed away and is not here to share in this accomplishment with us, but I did want to thank her publicly for her contribution to this effort. I also want to give a shout out to our municipal planners, BRS. We had been through a number of planners asking for assistance with this project prior to getting with BRS. And we oftentimes got canned master plans given back to us, some of them including our own words that we had previously written in our strategic plan for the township, just remixed and presented back to us. So it was uh, very it was really great to find BRS and to have them help us through this effort and really take our concerns to heart and make sure that the voices of the community were reflected in the plan that is presented. Also, thank you, Councilwoman McIntosh, for your support on the planning board. Miss Kim Davis on the planning board, Martin Knock, Marie Turner, Mr. Gary Lowry, who sat on the planning board for a while through our revisions, multiple revisions, and all of the others that were present and helped with this effort. It is a huge undertaking. It was told to me that some community that BRS is also working with has been working on their master plan for 10 years and it still is not passed. So the fact that we were able to get this done even in 5 years is really a testament to the dedication of our planning board. And we look forward to sharing it with the community in full. The copies are available and you can review it at the clerk's office. And that is all I have to say about that. Any other discussion? Deputy Mayor Worthy.
Thank you, Mayor. I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to thank our mayor, who has graciously thanked so many other people. Before she was on council, she started studying city planning, and she went to UPenn to study city planning because getting a master plan done in her town was so important to her, even before she decided to run for office. And so many times we see people are interested in the title, they're interested in getting a seat up here, but the work really starts just as a resident being engaged and concerned about community. And she graduated with that degree in city planning from UPenn prior to being elected to Willingboro Council. And that was not her forte before. She wasn't a city planner and just trying to go get a master's degree in city planning. So Mayor, I thank you for the example that you've set for your town, for so many people who are sitting here with us and virtually who are interested in trying to figure out how can I make a difference in our town. It's not just in the seats up here. It's every member of the community being passionate about what's important to them and running with it. So thank you for your leadership and for your steadfastness to help bring Willingboro up and be one of few Levitt towns that will have a current master plan. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to echo those sentiments.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. With that, we'll go to roll call. Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we have no treasurer's report at this time. And Madam Clerk, the approval of minutes.
Thank you. So you do have a couple I'm trying to catch up on my minutes. So you do have December 22nd special meeting minutes, the January 6th reorganization meeting minutes, and the January 22nd council meeting minutes in front of you. If you would not mind giving me a motion to approve, I will get those on the website.
Sure. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. All right, moved by Deputy Mayor Worthy, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Vote yes to December 22nd, January 6th, abstain from the 22nd.
thank you. Councilwoman McIntosh,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy,
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, and Madam Clerk, your updates.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So I know it may seem a little early, but I'm going to start throwing some election dates at you because we are already almost in March and it's going to come up before we know it. So important primary election dates that everyone should be aware of. Our primary election is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026 from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Voter registration deadline is May 12th. It must be postmarked by May 12th for the county to accept it. Early voting will be at the library per usual from May 26th to May 21st. The deadline to apply for vote by mail-in ballots through the mail is May 26th. You can apply up to June 1st for a vote by mail-in ballot in person by the county by June 1st until 3 p.m. And then we also have our county committees up this year. So if you are interested in running for a county committee position, those nominating petitions are due March 23rd, 2026. We do have some exciting news on polling location changes. I am going to be sending out a memo to the community at the end of this week, but we do have some, we are moving some of our polling locations just to kind of conserve space and make everything run a little bit better. So that will be coming out at the end of this week. I'll send something out through social media. I can say it here, but I think people are just going to get confused if I start naming a bunch of different polling locations. So that'll be coming up. I encourage everyone to look at the Willingboro Weekly and on social media and at the clerk's office to educate yourself on where you should be voting in this upcoming election, as well as it'll be on all your sample ballots. And then I just want to give an update. Our Civic Plus implementation on all of our clerk systems is moving forward. We are still looking good to be live by the end of March. And then and I just did double check. We don't have any solicitors in town yet that are approved, so no one should be coming to your door and soliciting right now. There are a couple people in the process of approval, but no one has an active license right now. So just keep that in mind. And then finally, I just wanted to give council a heads up that this will be my last meeting in this seat for a while. I will be sitting in and watching my deputy Nikki kind of take the role. She's gonna learn to get her hands dirty and learn everything before I go on maternity leave. So she will be starting to do the meetings in March. And that is all I have for today.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. A couple things in your report I just wanted to highlight for the postmark dates, for mail-in ballots, and for voter registration. I just want to make sure that the public is aware that there have been some changes with the USPS. If you take your mail to the post office on that date, it may not be postmarked that date. So please make sure you get it to the post office prior, at least 2 days prior to the postmark deadline, so that you can be sure that it is postmarked by the correct date. Okay. Or you can ask them to stamp it in front of you as soon when you drop it off. So if you put it in the little ballot box, the mailbox for postmark, it may not get postmarked that day. You must take it to the counter, ask them to stamp it in front of you, or get it there a few days early so that you can make sure you meet the deadline. Also, for the county committee elections, those petitions are due the 23rd. You said March
Yes.
23rd?
March 23rd, by 4 p.m.
Okay. And I did just want to highlight to the community that here in Willingboro, we have 36 districts. There is one male and one female represented or elected to represent each district. And they are tasked with getting to know their district, representing their district on the county level, and really helping to understand some of the issues that are happening and relaying those back to council as well. So these positions are very important and critical to our township. We've had an uptick in involvement across the town, and we still have a number of vacancies on our county committee. So I just want to encourage anyone that is interested in joining our county committee or getting involved to submit their petition by 4 p.m. on March 23rd, so that you can be included in the conversation. And then lastly, as the clerk mentioned, please keep an eye out and pay close attention to your polling place when your sample ballots come. There have been a few changes, a number of changes. I hope you'll be pleased with the consolidation. And also, this effort has really taken effect because there are a number of schools that are under renovation, and we want to make sure that we're not running into any issues come election time. So we figured, let's get it done now. Move those polling places so that everyone can get accustomed to their new polling place before the general in November. Any other discussion or questions for the clerk? All right. Seeing none, thank you, Madam Clerk. Any unfinished business? Councilwoman Pearl.
Thank you. All right, so have a few screens here, but it's relating to the same topic. So I'm going to flip through to explain what I'm speaking about. So this is pertaining to 2026. I first want to start off by just providing a few names. And I will start off with Sharita Crenshaw, Jermaine Sanders, Allison Mason, Alexis Weaver, Adrian Murrell, Lachey Lattimore, Rhonda Lewis, Shahid Olashe, Marva Morris. These individuals, I thank you for applying to the Parade and Events Committee this year of 2026. I do look forward to meeting with you at a committee meeting. However, here are the issues for the council. So unless we get this rectified, those individuals, here's why we're not moving anywhere. Okay, 2025, 24 actually, I presented concerns to the communication with the township manager and the other individuals that work for the township. Understand the committees. Parade and Events Committee is not my private organization. There should be a budget that is allotted for that committee so we can put on events for Willingboro. Therefore, the staff that assist are the staff that works for the township, as well as volunteers such as yourself and those who participate. As some of you may know, there was a group of people who applied and was on the committee and worked very hard to put on a Veterans Day parade. And 3 weeks before the parade, it was taken back and the money was used for other things. I'm not going to allow anyone else to do that to anyone in this community, to waste your time and your efforts. So the memorandum that was received by the attorney solicitor at that time reads, which goes against our bylaws. First, I'm going to start off with what she says. I hope everybody has time because we're here for the council meeting. Is anybody in a rush? Because I'm not. Okay. Here's what it says. Authority of Advisory Boards, dated November 18, 2024. This was written by Malamut. Memorandum. Okay. The event, and she, again, it's called the Parade and Events Committee, but she gave us a new name. The Event and Planning Advisory Board, I don't know where that exists, but it does say that here, can brainstorm ideas, research information, and make recommendations to the council and township manager. That's the brief answer for number one. Her second brief answer is all expenditures must be approved by the township manager or the township council. There's more. However, I'm going to jump to our code. Okay, because obviously she read something else maybe in her township. Let's get to our codes. All right. Here we are. Purpose. Oh, let me read the code to you first, just so you know I'm not making it up. Article 5, bylaws. Okay, this is underneath the parade and event. It's called actually Chapter 12, boards, committees, commissions, and authorities. Okay, this is what what we voted on. Okay, here's what it says. Purpose of board, committee, or commission. The purpose of the board, committee, or commission shall be as determined by its established ordinance or resolution. Okay, it goes into membership distribution, which we know how we become members. All of you, those who've applied, have done that. Let's move quickly to the next part. Members, that would mean anyone who has applied. In the absence of any ordinance or resolution providing direction to the contrary, township board, committee, or commission members shall be appointed by the mayor, subject to approval by the township council. That's how you become members, okay? For such term as provided by the ordinance. And in most cases, it's 1 year. Okay, we understand that. Let's moving forward. 12-41, it's called voting. All duly appointed board members, committee, or commission members present shall be authorized to vote in all matters coming before it. Think about that. Now focus on the Parade and Events Committee. Let's put on a Veterans Day parade. All members present? Do you vote yes? Yes, we do. Now, where does it say you come to the council meeting and you ask the township manager if you can? Where does it say council members to vote if you can? Answer is it does not. It does not say that. Now, we're all intelligent people here, so you understand the issue and the frustration. Now, I feel, and there's more in here, okay? I feel that we're all intelligent people here, and we can make intelligent decisions on something very simple. We appoint people to the Parade and Events Committee, we allocate money for that committee, and we allow them to use their intelligence to make decisions. I am the liaison, and I don't need to look up that word for you, but that person is the person that communicates with one group and brings it back to this group. I bring it back to this group. We produce minutes held, show that we are using the money for its purpose, present the days and the times of the events to take place. That is what my position is as the liaison. Now, with that said, all council is present at this meeting. That SOP that the unfortunate law firm who didn't even know what our bylaw said, as you heard I read, she called it something else. We need direction because the people who have applied, I believe that they do want to put on events for the community, as well do I. But without a legitimate communication from the rest of council and not a bogus response, we talked about it already. We got the email. There's no moving forward. So if you want to retract that committee, then retract it. Do not ask people to apply to a committee if you're not going to give them the opportunity to actually work. So my question to the mayor, how would you like to proceed with the Parade and Events Committee and the challenges and the concerns and the legal opinion, which was written to us How would you like for us to proceed? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councilwoman Perone. Any other comments on that?
Well, that's a question, Madam Mayor.
And I can answer it in my own time. Any other?
Are you going to answer the question tonight?
And I will answer it in my own time.
Okay, the
Any other
question- I
questions or
do have,
comments?
it's not a question or
Any-
comment. I actually asked you a question, Madam
Any other
Mayor.
questions or comments?
Madam Mayor, I've asked you a question.
Oh.
Madam Mayor, I've asked you a question. I didn't ask the rest of council. I've asked you a question. How would you like the Parade and Events Committee to proceed based off the challenges, based off the article, the legal opinion? How would you like us to proceed? Madam Mayor, the question is to you.
Okay, are you done?
That's the question.
Okay, thank you. So as the mayor and the orchestrator of this meeting, I am allowed to ask other council members if they have any questions before I give my responses. So thank you for your patience while I did that.
Okay.
All right.
So the
to your
question to you, if
to
you
your-
don't want to
and
answer
to
your
your
question,
question.
thank you.
And to your question.
Thank you.
All right, and to your question, yes, as you said, the Parade and Events Committee is established. We have worked previously a number of times on revisions for an SOP. Mr. Harris and his office are relooking at that SOP. Am I correct, Mr. Harris?
Discuss the SOP. We were supposed to meet with Councilwoman to further flush it out, and that meeting never occurred.
Okay, so I will ask Councilwoman Perone if you will set up a meeting with Mr. Harris and his deputy manager to further discuss that SOP so that it's to your liking this time and not something that doesn't meet your standard, your high standard. I just want to make sure that that gets settled out before we come here and discuss a new SOP. So if you would kindly, before our next meeting, set up a meeting with Mr. Harris and his staff so that you can discuss your issues with the SOP and we can get a draft version to the agenda for the next meeting. Would that be sufficient for you?
Thank you for asking me that question because no, it would not. Because I've already spoken to both you and Mr. Harris. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago at our last council meeting about the issue with the Parade and Events Committee. The reason, number two, why that's an issue is because the whole conversation about set up a meeting, the SOP has already been established by the other fool attorney who put together somebody else's committee. And I can read the SOP to you if you want me to. I started off with the title, how she was belligerent to what we have going on with our bylaws and our chapter 12. And I spoke about this to Mr. Harris when it was written. When was it written? November 19, 2024. So this is not just yesterday. That's why scheduling a meeting with Mr. Harris, he's going to pull out that same ridiculous SOP that was established and created by the ridiculous solicitors that we had who was not paying attention to our bylaws and our resolutions. No, I don't want to look at the SOP. No, what needs to happen is we look at our own bylaws. We already have it established. I only read parts of it to you. If there is any issue with that, because what I don't want is what Mr. Harris did the last time. The mayor said, we don't know, we don't know if you should move. We can't pay for anything until we figure out. I don't have time for any of that. I know time, nor the patience for ignorance. I really don't, okay? So no, I don't want to meet with him. You know why? The SOP he's going to pull out is the same one that I just read. So we need to look at the bylaws. The bylaws needs to be looked at.
Councilwoman Perone, if you're not willing to put in the work,
It's not
that
the
it would
work.
take- if you are
Understand.
not willing, excuse me, it's my turn to talk now.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
It's not the
If you're not willing to put in the work or the effort that it would take to get the SOP to your standard so that it would be reflective of what you'd like to see, I will take that under advisement, work with our attorney, Mr. Holt, and we will review it and come back with what we think is proper and in accordance with our bylaws.
Yes, that would be more sufficient to
That
have
would-
our solicitor look at our bylaws, resolutions, and as it's written, and create a standard operating procedure
To
for
our
Mr. Harris.
standard.
So this way the committee knows how to communicate with regular people that work here. Like
Okay.
if they need police presence, it's not a whole to-do. He's confused. We have the SOP to talk about that.
Understood,
thing.
understood,
And the
Councilwoman.
last
Strong.
question is, how much money has been allotted for the Parade and Events Committee this year?
Well, that hasn't been established this year because
Okay.
we haven't passed the budget.
Okay, so I'm putting that out there for the people, and I've read.
But there was money allotted last year. to
Last year it
Parade and
was,
Events
and so as you heard, no money has been allotted for that yet. but we're
Because we
working on
haven't
it.
yet passed the budget.
You did, you've asked that, you've answered, I'm letting the committee know, the people who have applied, we're waiting for the money, and what else we're waiting for? Standard operating procedures, which is the SOP, which means how do we move forward with planning anything, okay, with the ridiculousness that's been going on.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Perone. And as I said, I will move forward with working with our attorney and our township manager to create an SOP that is to my standard, and in accordance with our bylaws.
Yes.
That would be great. Thank you. Any other topic for unfinished business? All right, seeing none, new business. Councilwoman McIntosh?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to bring this to the council's attention. There's have been discussions with the Willenboro Municipal Utilities Authority about removing fluoride from our water. I believe that is a council's decision. I'm just trying to open up the discussion. There's no movement right now. I just wanted to see what level of rigor did we want from the MUA to present to us in terms of the pros and cons of having fluoride in our water. I believe that the majority of municipalities in New Jersey have taken it out already. They have complained that it's corrosive material to work with. Fluoride was utilized, previously for cavities. Now that we have a lot of dental technology advancements, it may or may not be critical to have in our water. But I believe if I've researched correctly, 72% of the municipalities have taken it out. So I just want to, I don't think a decision has to be made today, but I want to keep that on our radar. And it would come, I believe it would come to council for a decision, whether we want to keep it in or take it out. So I just wanted to, I can follow up at our next meeting with some other discussion with our council, legal.
I have a question.
Councilwoman Perone?
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman McIntosh. So are you the liaison for the MUA?
No,
Oh.
I was just at the meeting.
meeting.
Yes.
Who's the liaison there? You are. So do we have any literature regarding that? Because I thank you for bringing that up. I would like to know more about it. I did not attend the MUA meeting, so I don't know about this topic. Deputy Mayor, do you have any literature or any meeting information or anything tangible that we can review or read between now and, I guess, our next meeting, if we have to be the people to make the decision on that?
No, once that information is available, I'll share that along with the timeline for if council has to make a decision or not. I don't have that tonight.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And any other discussion? And Councilwoman McIntosh, thank you for bringing this up. I did want to, you asked the question on what level of rigor we'd like from the WMUA to present to us in regards of what we'd like to see as we make a decision on this. I personally, in addition to pros and cons, I'd also like to see any case studies or journals that, cite any effects or long-term effects of fluoride in water. The data that some of the data that you shared with what our surrounding municipalities are doing, both in the state and probably across the United States. And yeah, pros and cons, any studies, and maybe just like the history of our usage, and what the impact would be to the MUA, whether that be like if it has financial impacts or.
Point of order, I'm sorry. Are you asking Councilman McIntosh to do all of this?
No,
Because you were looking
she-
right at, I'm just trying to make sure, because.
because she asked the question.
Okay, because you were looking right at, I want to make sure that you're not giving her direction on what
No,
to do.
no.
The liaison is Tiffany Worthy. I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading the room correctly.
Yes, and she asked the question, so I
Right.
was
So you're
answering her
writing
question.
down notes about what you're telling her to do, so are you telling?
I wasn't telling her to
Okay,
do
so you're
anything.
just
I
listening
was
to
answering
and
her
taking notes.
question.
So,
Yes.
you said, can you get this? Can you get that?
No.
The liaison is Tiffany Worthy. Do we got this correct?
What I was doing was answering a question that
Answering
she
a
asked.
question. Okay, it looked like more.
Right.
direction.
Just as I answered your
It
question
looked like you were
earlier.
giving her direction about what you needed.
I actually wasn't.
Okay, when you watch this meeting over again, you'll see that, make sure you get this, because we need to see that, because we want to see this.
All right, we will.
not a
and we'll
question.
see. We'll see
So I
exactly
wanna
that I
make
was
sure the
answering
direction
a
is being
question that she asked.
Directed to the correct people, okay?
Well, I was directing my answer to the person
Okay,
who asked the
okay.
question.
So make sure we're not giving directives to certain other people, because she is not the liaison. We've established that this evening.
Well, what
Yeah, Tiffany Worthy said she's the liaison. That's why I'm like, what is she asking you to do this? And if so, we need to communicate on because my concern is, again, it's a legitimate concern. My concern is, Madam McIntosh, not that you're not intelligent, but that you are not the liaison. So the people who are attending, the person who is attending those meetings is Tiffany Worthy, and it seemed like she was telling you what she wants you to get for her. And the problem is, the person supposed to be at the meeting, the next meeting is supposed to be Tiffany Worthy. Now, Madam McIntosh attended the meeting as a resident, as I would attend a meeting. I want to make sure that the directives are being sent, if there are any directives, to Madam Mayor, and that we all agree as a council that we want the liaison to bring back this information, as I spoke about the Parade and Events Committee. I'm the liaison, I attend the meetings, I bring back information. So same thing with the MUA. She's the liaison, she attends the meeting, she brings back information. That's why I asked her, who's the liaison? She said she was. I said, okay, do you have any information? She says she does not, but she will get it. And then you start telling, it looked like you were telling
Thank
Madam
you,
McIntosh.
Councilwoman
Yes, I
Perron.
wanna make
Thank you,
that-
Councilwoman.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
So as I was saying, I was answering a question that was
Okay.
asked by Councilwoman McIntosh. So I was responding to her question
Mm.
to her, just as I responded to your question that you asked me directly earlier. So she asked a question and I'm responding to that question. There were no directives given. If there were any directives, it would be to the WMUA. And I'm sure Deputy Mayor Worthy will take back any information from this meeting. But at this time, I was answering a direct question. Was that not a direct question that you
After
asked,
meeting after that.
Councilwoman McIntosh?
Respect, I wasn't, the intent wasn't to circumvent, Dr. Worthy. This is a level of interest. As a chemist, this is a level of interest, to me, but it was like, that's why we just put it on the.
Right.
It wasn't that serious. I was gonna, gonna go through Dr. Worthy, but, this, this is something that, I've been thinking about for a long time, and I just happened to overhear it. And so that's why I'm bringing it to the council's attention, that's all.
With her expertise as a chemist. All right. So we'll move. Is there anything else that you had on that discussion? Thank you, Councilwoman McIntosh. We are at the point in our meeting where we're at public comment. This public comment will be for any general item. You will have 4 minutes. Public comment cards are in the back. Please fill one out and give it to our deputy clerk as you come up to the microphone, so that if there's any need for us to contact you following the meeting, we can do so. You can fill that out before or after you speak, but just make sure our deputy clerk gets that card. Public comment is now open. Please state your name.
Ayana Ginyard.
Ayana Ginyard.
Good evening,
evening.
everyone. I actually was really interested in the conversation we just had. I did have questions, and if it could come back about the fluoride in the water. I am a doula, so I work with expecting mothers and persons. And so what I will say is, from my base of knowledge, I would love to have information on what that looks like in our community. We talked about affordable housing. We know that dental disease is really, really big in expected mothers. And so if the impact would lessen some of the strain because not everybody has dental care, especially for our children in Willingboro. I would love to see if they have information about that, if it's possible to keep it in because it's going to benefit our children going forward. I would like information about that, if that can be shared when we're doing that research. There's a lot of children here. I grew up here. I'm from here. And so I know growing up in Willingboro, I knew fluoride was in our water, and I'm 46 now. And so I think it also can lessen the burden as we're talking about affordable housing and how expensive everything is, and that there are a lot of children and mothers who don't have dental care. There are no free dental clinics here. I work in Trenton as well. There's one. And so even trying to get them to come here to do clinics is difficult. So if that fluoride in our water can help lessen some of the negative implications of not having it in the water, I would love to see us have a deeper discussion about keeping it in. I know that other counties have taken it out, but if it's going to adversely affect our children here in Willingboro, I would love that to be taken under consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Gagnon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Diane Polk. I reside at 146 Niagara Lane here in Willingboro. I have a concern about the yoga classes. I have been a member since for 17 years, and it has really benefited me and many others. And on Friday, the person, Kathleen McCabe, decided to resign because, from my understanding and what she said, she had not been paid for 6 months. And she had been trying to endure because of the group. And I would like to have some light shed on this, please. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Teresa Sims. I reside at 47 Gainwell Lane. I too had a concern with the payments or the alleged non-payments of vendors at the senior center. I do know that, I guess it was in 2023, for the 2024 budget year, they were speaking about having a $2 million fund given towards the senior center. And here we are in 2020, the beginning of 2026, and many vendors, not just Kathleen, but other vendors have said that they have not been paid in several months. So one of the things that I know that we highlight here in Willingboro is the senior center and supporting our seniors. And if we don't have any resources or activities for them at the senior center, then what are we moving to now? So we could please get some information on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Polk and Ms. Sims.
Thank you. Good evening, Council. My name is Dr. Carolyn Providence. I'm with the Department of Health as a full-time employee. The Office of Oral Health Services is in my division, the Department of Health in Trenton, New Jersey. In fact, on April 16th and 17th of April 16th and 17th, we're planning a water fluoridation boot camp. I would ask you to come out and listen to the experts about water fluoridation before you make a decision in 2 weeks. We have experts from across the United States. New Jersey is the second lowest fluoridated state in the country. And we have done basic screening surveys for children, pregnant women, and our numbers are above national numbers. When we took fluoridation out of the water, dental cavities increased in the state. These are just not numbers made up, these are facts. We have the data to support it. So I would ask you to come out to our boot camp. I can send you the information. I can send it to Councilwoman Pavone and listen to what they have to say. The folks from Kentucky are coming in here. They're the highest fluoridated state, #1 in the country. And they have less cavities, less dental cavities than the rest of the country. It's a controversial topic, we understand that. But like the previous presenter said, not everyone has the facts, not everyone has the information, not everyone has the affordability for dental care. The Office of Oral Health, we are trying our best. It's a new office in the state, in the Department of Health, where we're trying our best to enlighten and aware, get some baseline data across the state. We don't have all the numbers yet. We're looking into long-term care facilities. We're looking at anywhere that we can get data about oral health care. It's really bad across New Jersey. So before you think about taking it out and voting, because your vote matters, it really does. Come out, hear what the experts have to say. Put this on hold. Don't just rush to this decision. Put in a hold, come out, hear what we have to say, and then you make an informed decision after that. It's a very important topic, and I would advise you to have some really thoughtful insight into this topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Providence. Is there any other public comment? Seeing none, public comment is now closed. So first we'll talk about Ms. Ginyard and Dr. Providence. Thank you for your interest in this topic. As you heard, this was presented under new business. So this is a new topic that we're just taking under. Of course, we will do our due diligence and find out all of the information so that we as a council can make a sound decision, an informed decision, and more often than not, a data-driven decision that will work in the best interest of Willingboro residents. So thank you for your interest. If you have any other information, I think the water fluoridation boot camp would be very helpful information. If you would get that information to our clerk, I'm sure our council would like that information. And then Madam Clerk, if you would also send that information over to the WMUA, that would be great, so that they would also have that information as well. But thank you both for coming up and speaking. Ms. Polk and Ms. Sims came up to talk about non-payment of vendors at the senior center. And first, I just want to apologize for you experiencing that. We were made aware of some issues at the end of last year, and we did our best to rectify that. But I'll give Mr. Harris a chance to talk about that issue.
Thank you, thank you, Mayor. And I was made aware of this issue on Friday afternoon from a call from Councilwoman Perone, where she had shared the concern of Ms. Polk. This matter, all of these non-payment issues should have been resolved at the end of last year, which I thought that they had been, but for some reason, this particular vendor did not get paid. I did have a conversation with Ms. Foster on Friday. I did instruct Ms. Foster to make sure that vendor got paid for whatever she was owed in 2025, and as well as moving forward with in their billing for 2026. And Ms. Foster was going to reach out to her and have a conversation not to cancel the yoga classes. I have not had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Foster today, but I will follow up with her first thing in the morning.
Okay. And would you also be able to reach out to the vendor just to, you know, share that we are aware of the issue and that it is being rectified? And then also I'd like for you to just take a look at the payment process for all of the vendors at the senior center. This is the second time that this is bubbling up. So if we could centralize that payment, I know there's a number of recreation vendors that get paid also. And I don't know if we can centralize it within your office or if within the recreation department or where we would centralize that. But this is unacceptable. People going 6 months without payment that's that's unacceptable. So if you could take a look at that and come back at the next meeting with an update and a remedy for this.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything that I missed during public comment?
Yes, she
Councilwoman
also,
Park.
yes, Ms. Pope and Ms. Sims also inquired about the $2 million for the senior center and wanted to know where was that money going to?
Yes, that $2 million, I believe, was for renovations of the senior center. Mr. Harris, do you want to discuss those renovations?
That is correct, and those renovations are in process of being planned and designed. And as soon as we get the final authorization, the project is going to move forward.
All right. All right. Anything else from council? All right. Seeing none, we will move on to council comments. There any comments from council? All right, seeing no comments from council, I did want to just take a minute and pause for a second as we have a moment of silence for the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who's just passed away at the age of 84. He was a freedom fighter. He was believed in one United States, and that resistance and unity takes perseverance. So I personally would just like to thank Reverend Jesse Jackson for his work, for his courage in fighting against injustice, for his courage for being the first Black man to run for the United States presidency, and everything that he has done to work towards a more perfect union here in the United States. Thank you. All right, with that, we have quite a number of events going on. I hope that everyone participates in all of the things that we have going on around town, not just during Black History Month, which we have a number of events going on for the rest of the month, but also throughout the year. Please partake in the programs and events that we have at the Recreation Center. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns that you did not express here tonight, please make sure you get in contact with our clerk's office so that the council can be made aware of it and we can move forward. Okay. Also, there is a WMUA meeting tomorrow. You can go and look up that information at WMUA.info. And if you're interested in that fluoride discussion, they'll probably be discussing it more over there at that meeting. I also wanted to say congratulations again to Ms. Carmichael on your new position. And I think that was all I had. Madam Clerk, we have a executive session this evening.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So we do have an executive session. It's Resolution 2026-55, resolution authorizing a closed executive session in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act. This is for attorney-client privilege and I believe maybe contract negotiations. Can I get a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Deputy Mayor Worthy. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilwoman Perone,
Yes.
Councilman Anderson,
Yes.
Councilwoman McIntosh, Deputy Mayor Dr. Worthy.
Yes.
Mayor Whitfield.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Executive session for maybe about 45 minutes for all of the topics that we have. Yeah, for all of the topics. And there may be a decision made or a vote when we come out.
may just drop it off if you don't want to use it. Don't have to. But it's Winnie the your theme is Winnie the Pooh, right? It's super cute. But she didn't know what she. So we kept it natural. You know that.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
So move. Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman Perone. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we are now out of executive session. We don't have any actions to take upon exiting, so I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, seconded by Councilwoman McIntosh. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you and good evening in Willingboro.
The time is now 9:10. We are officially adjourned.
All right. Good night, Willingboro.